The Aldis podcast is brought to you by Aldis International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our ServiceNow series, where we interview the best and brightest of the industry to share their story, advice, and views on the exciting world of ServiceNow and digital transformation.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Aldis podcast, ServiceNow series, and today I'm joined by Michael, who is the Managing Director for Platformation in the Nordics. Hello, Michael. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Ilsan. Very happy to be here. Happy to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to speak with you. So you have been working in the technology industry and in consulting for what feels like a very long time now. I'm curious to learn a bit more about your background and your journey to where we are today.
Yeah, thank you. It's been quite some time actually. So I think when I look at it, it's almost 30 years. So next year I think is my 30th anniversary. But yeah, I've been working a lot within technology and business development in different type of roles and leadership perspectives over time. I think one of the key things in my personal aspect of focus is around growth and building winning teams. It's something I really enjoy. And the first time I started working with ServiceNow was about 4.5 years ago. And I really quickly saw the potential in how quickly you can enable new business capabilities. And that's something that really attracted me and I think stood out on the market quite a lot. And now since June this year, I'm the Platformation Nordics Managing Director, and I'm really looking forward to helping becoming the leader within the ServiceNow partner ecosystem in the Nordics within the coming 3 years. So it's been a fun journey.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. And with your wealth of experience in digitalization and automation, but in particular ServiceNow over the last few years, I'd imagine there was quite a lot of companies that would be very interested to be able to work with you. So what was it about Platformation that really drew you to work with them as a business?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. And I think when I left as a managing director for another partner previously, I felt I really wanted to stay within the ServiceNow ecosystem for several different aspects. I really like it and all of the people working within it as well. But I felt that the ecosystem as it is in Sweden, it was lacking a bit. And also from a Nordic perspective, there are a few things. So I actually set myself out on a new goal, and I spoke to a lot of the different partners in Europe, met many of them, especially the leading ones, and I was really searching about who are the partners that are on the cutting edge and really focusing on leveraging the new capabilities while also, in the best case scenario, help ServiceNow develop the platform and the capabilities in the platform or on the platform. And I wanted to find somebody that really were able to package solutions and their capabilities in a good way and also position them in a very clear and obvious way to the market. And of course, since I like growth, I also were looking for a partner that has some global growth ambitions as well. So when I talked to many of them, meeting Platformation and then the group CEO, Elmer, he really stood out in many different ways, both from a personality perspective. I feel his energy, my energy, and not to mention our joint ambition levels seems really high, which is something I really enjoy and bringing a lot of energy into the meetings and dialogues. But I also found out very quickly that Platformation is really focusing on leveraging the customer value, not only doing the technical implementation. So I think many partners are focusing on selling resources over time, that you have a ServiceNow developer, you have a ServiceNow architect, not really much focusing on the customer effects and the benefits at the end. And this is, I think, where Platformation really stands out. So we have a lot of SMEs within HR or security or manufacturing, etc., which is really helping to have the right dialogues with different aspects and different parts of the business with our customers. I think that's really good. And something else that also stood out is that Platformation's actually developed the workplace service delivery part of ServiceNow that ServiceNow bought and has now implemented as a key part of the platform. And also since February this year, Platformation also developed a solution or a concept called For Industry, which is about to helping the manufacturing industries and companies to become better. And that was also sold to ServiceNow. So that just showing the capabilities and the competency of Platformation and they're able and to sell and create these things that is really benefiting the entire ecosystem is something that really stood out and attracted me a lot. But that's one thing. I think being a global lead partner is a good thing, but I think that's really a prerequisite to come to the next step. But I think over these years that Platformation has grown and shown its presence on the market, it really attracted the attention from ServiceNow as well. So since February this year, ServiceNow is also part owner of Platformation, which says a lot to me. And it's really about their focus on bringing the customer value and making sure that it's not a technical implementation. It's the full business benefits that's the interest. And then also another private equity company called Keysight also bought part of Platformation. So it's a really exciting journey ahead of us that I'm very happy to be part of.
Yeah, no, I can definitely imagine that. And, I've obviously known Platformation for a very long time, just working in the industry for what feels like a lifetime, but has only been maybe about 4 years. And I've seen how things have grown and changed and really taken off for the Platformation. So I can imagine it's a very exciting place to work and to be a leader of one of their new practices as well. I'm sure you've got a lot of exciting plans, which I'm curious to hear about. So tell me about what you're going to do next for Platformation in the Nordics.
Yeah, absolutely. And we already had several strong brands as our customers in our reference list in the Nordics, which is really exciting. But right now I'm focusing on establishing our presence in Sweden and Finland primarily. So we already have some good wins, key wins that are really interesting. And it's really showing how quickly we're able to enter a market and also how attractive our capabilities are. But of course, I'm always interested in recruiting some of the key people within the ecosystem, but also coming from outside of the ecosystem, because I also want to expand it and not just only moving people around. So establishing a footprint in Sweden and Finland is the primary goal that we do have today. And we have a really interesting growth ambition. So hopefully we can recruit at least 10 to 12 people next year. Hopefully I'm in discussion with a number of different people. So hopefully we can also get some larger teams coming on board that are really excited about our offerings and our positioning, our market, but also of course being quite eager to help in this growth journey. So for me, it's all about the journey, the growth, and finding new opportunities and building another new winning team together with the rest of the team, of course.
So, of course, it's very exciting to be a part of the Nordic practice, and there's going to be competition there. There's other well-established brands within the same region. So I'm curious to hear how you're going to differentiate Platformation from others that are already working within the ServiceNow market there.
Yeah, and I think that's a really key question also, because as you say, it is a fairly mature market in many regards. But also in talking to ServiceNow, there is a perceived gap, and I fully agree with that one. So many of the existing partners are focusing more on ITSM, and as I mentioned previously, also about focusing on selling resources and selling them over time. So that's one of their primary parts of the business model. And this is where we think differently, where we really try to package and implement things as quickly as possible, and then to try to move on to other aspects, because the platform is always developing. So it's not going to be one implementation and then you're done, because there are always more things to add on from a customer perspective as well. And that's a little bit different approach. And also, we have 5 different things in the Nordic market where we are perceived as really strong and don't really see the same competition. One of them, of course, is within the employee experience, where we are really strong. And I think we are by far one of the biggest implementation partners within HRSD with more than 70 implementations. And since we also have created workplace service delivery, that of course is making us very unique on the market.
Yeah.
With also the number one amount of implementations also within that one. Secondly, I would say that creator workflow is something where we are extremely strong, if not the strongest, since we also developed parts of the platform, of course, and we are working on more things. We also do a lot of different things connected to ERP modernization. So for those running SAP, you can have a clean core and move a lot of functionality into ServiceNow, which can help you save cost and also save time from implementation. And there we also don't really have a strong competition, I would say. So we have a very, very strong position. And thirdly, I would say manufacturing industry, we are really, really strong. So some of the biggest global references within manufacturing for ServiceNow are some of the ones that we have done actually. And more than 30% of our revenue comes from manufacturing. So we really know that industry by heart, and we can also see how you are able to automate and also hyper automate parts of your business to really maximize your operational excellence going forward. I would say one of the biggest topics that everybody's talking about is, of course, generative AI and also platform AI. Everybody says they're doing it, but when you actually look at how many implementations have you actually done, and there I'm also very happy to say that we are number one globally with more than 40 running implementations today. So by far, we have the best practices and also lessons learned when it comes to that one. So we can also make sure that you don't only turn on the functionality, you will also get the right expectations for when your user starts using it in a different way. And then as a fifth and a sort of final offering, even though we do everything on the platform, it comes down to the platform health and data quality. Especially when you're looking into AI and we want to do the reporting and everything, it needs to have accurate data. It needs to be updated and having the right quality. But on top of that, you also want to make sure that your implementation is implemented in a good way so that you're able to upgrade very, very quickly to really benefit of the new functionality of features of the platform that comes twice a year.
Nice. So there's a lot to be excited about then. Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Definitely. I'm excited to see how it all unfolds. And what are you most excited about when it comes to platformation specifically and its scalability?
I really love that both ServiceNow and Keysight have been able to see the potential in platformation and also how they will help fuel the growth going forward, and how also we are there to help customers. So if something is going wrong, it's not really working, and how often ServiceNow contacts us, hey, do you have an expert within this area? And yes, we do. So we help a lot. So really helping the customers on the market to make sure that they get the full value of their investments, because it is a huge investment and it's also a big stake. And it is also about understanding the capabilities on the platform as a strategic platform for all of the enterprises. And if you do that properly, you can really see how the customers are flourishing more and more and being able to automate and reducing a lot of these operational, mostly boring tasks to make sure that all of the people that they do have that can focus on some more value bringing activities and also making their employees more interested and happy in their workplace, of course.
Exciting. Well, do you know, Michael, it's been really lovely to get to know you and also to be able to put this podcast episode together with you. As you know, I'm a huge Platformation fan, so it's wonderful to be able to speak to one of their new leaders. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Aldus Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.aldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.